going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Quincy Bell Sports. And today we're going to be doing our week... God, what week is it? Week 9, I think. I might be wrong on that. College football picks. And we only have 9 games on the board. I'm sorry, I managed the board space awfully. But I do have this little college football preview thing. That's the orange... Or no, that's the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl, in case you're wondering. And the new basketball rankings came out. I want to talk about those a little bit at the end. So... this will be kind of a short episode, but let's get into it. Because a lot of the really, really good teams play cupcake teams. SMU Houston, I actually think SMU's undefeated season comes to an end here. I like Houston's chances at home. But if SMU wins this game, they can maybe go to a New Year's Six Bowl. Who knows? Okay, listen. I'm a Michigan State fan, okay? This doesn't mean that this is a biased pick. Okay, it might, but still. Michigan State has beaten Penn State the last 2 years, and I feel like our strong defense might be able to get a win at home. Listen, I don't trust Penn State that much. I'm sorry. They really haven't beaten anyone good. Sorry, Michigan. But I think Michigan State can get this win at home. I mean, you can call me biased if you want to, but I'm trying to base this off of Michigan State's defense. If their offense shows up, I feel like they can maybe get that win. But I'm just going to go with an upset there. I think Oklahoma will beat Kansas State. Minnesota is undefeated, and I mean, they haven't really beaten anyone good, but I mean, if they can beat Maryland and continue marching and maybe beat one or two good Big Ten teams, I mean, maybe they will make a New Year's Six Bowl. I think Boston College will hold... Oh, God. I think Boston College will hold Clemson close. And the thing is, Clemson really hasn't looked that good to me. They haven't really been able to, blow teams out a bunch. Well, they have, but... I mean, that close game in North Carolina, I don't know. I feel like, don't be surprised if Boston College wins, but I think I'm going to still pick Clemson. And then I think we'll take App State over South Alabama. Our first featured game, and these are 3 good ones. Auburn, LSU, Michigan, Notre Dame, and Wisconsin, Ohio State. This was supposed to be the game of the week, but Wisconsin had to curdle up in the fetal position in the final 5 minutes against Illinois, of all teams. So now, I think they're just trying to play spoiler. The only way they can make it into the playoff is if they go the rest of the year undefeated, and even that can be a bit of a stretch, if you ask me. I was originally going to think about taking Wisconsin in this game, but I'm telling you, man, they looked awful against Illinois. They were caught in a complete trap game. And I feel like their confidence is just at an all-time low. I feel like this game could get out of hand quickly. I don't know if I trust Wisconsin's defense, even though they've looked pretty good all year. This will be their best test, and that defense really looked pretty bad against a 2-4 Illinois team. I think Ohio State will win this game. Notre Dame and Michigan. Here's another one. At the beginning of the season, I kind of thought Michigan would win this game. They have not looked good as of late. Same thing with them in Wisconsin. I do think this will be a close game. I think Michigan will hold it close in the big house, but I do think that Notre Dame will pull off a win late with a late touchdown. And then lastly, Auburn LSU. Now, I think LSU is probably the best team in the country, in my opinion. Yes, I think they're better than Alabama. Come at me if you disagree. I think that Auburn has a lot to play for here. Auburn can still make the playoff. They're a really good team. I think they'll have a good chance of beating Alabama at home. But this will probably be their toughest game throughout the rest of the season, besides maybe Georgia. But Georgia really doesn't look like a good team. I just think LSU's offense at home will be too much. But I do think this is going to be a spectacular game. If Auburn can win this, we might be talking about playoff for them. Let's say Auburn runs the table. They definitely can do it. But okay, let's say Auburn loses this game, but they win the SEC or something like that. I don't know. I feel like this is a really huge game for both teams, and it's going to be a great SEC game. The playoff look is Bama at 1. Clemson fell all the way down to 4. They're now in danger of possibly, if they lose, not getting in the playoff. Would you take a 1-loss Oklahoma or a 1-loss Clemson? Let me know in the comments. Would you take And then... So, there are 6 teams at the top that are the upper plateau of undefeated teams. Bama, LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Penn State. These teams, Notre Dame, Florida, Auburn, Georgia, Utah, Oregon, are all 1-loss teams, and the only way I can see them making it into the playoff is if they finish their season with 1 loss. Now, I think Florida will definitely lose. I don't know if they'll beat Georgia next week, but I don't see them going undefeated. I think they'll lose in the SEC championship. Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame has the best probability to go undefeated the rest of the year. But just think, they haven't really beaten anyone good. Their best win is Virginia. If they win this game here, which I do think they will, that will be a good booster for them. But if they lose that game, they're done. And I think a one-loss conference champion would beat a one-loss Notre Dame. Auburn and Georgia both have really tough routes. Auburn has to play LSU. Georgia has to play Florida. Both will be tough games for them. And they're probably going to lose in the SEC Championship. That's why I think Oregon and Utah will both have a very good chance to make the playoff. No, guys, the Pac-12 is not dead. Pac-12 is not dead. I do think that a one-loss Oregon or a one-loss Utah will have a very good chance to make the playoff, because Oregon's loss was to a really good Auburn team, and Utah's loss was to USC, which I guess isn't the best loss. But Oregon, they don't really play anyone good the rest of the year. They won their last true real road game against Washington, and the same can be said against Utah. I think these two teams will match up in the Pac-12 championship, and I feel like whoever wins that game could possibly make the playoff. A one-loss Pac-12 champion could make the playoff. Trust me, guys. I think it can happen. But it would probably... I think Bama... I don't know if Bama will make the playoff. I think they will lose to LSU and possibly lose to Auburn. But I'm not really sure about that. I'm just saying, I might come out with a playoff preview video. Who knows? But now, as a little bonus for this video, the college basketball rankings, the preseason rankings have just came out, and I'm going to briefly talk about each team. Starting, as mentioned earlier, I am a Michigan State fan, and I'm telling you, Michigan State's going to be very good this year. Cassius Winston. I did find out that Joshua Langford will be out till about January again, which will suck. But, I mean, they got Gabe Brown, Aaron Henry, and just everyone's going to come together on that team and play really well. Nick Ward's good, too. I think MSU will be a very good team. And they open the season against Kentucky 1-2 on November 5th. I'm going to be live streaming for this game. Kentucky's got their new set of freshmen. Kansas and Duke will also be playing on that day. These four teams, especially these three, are always really good. But MSU is going to be really good this year. I'm excited to watch MSU basketball. Louisville and Florida will be... I didn't know that these teams would be really good, but I think both of them have good potential. Maryland made the tournament last year, almost made the Sweet 16, but an LSU buzzer beater had other plans. Gonzaga is always very good. They will be good this year. UNC is a little lower than they're normally ranked. They're usually like up here. They're down here, but we know UNC is still going to be good. Villanova is still really good. Virginia, I thought they'd be ranked a little bit higher since they're the defending champions. They actually lost almost everyone on that team. Seton Hall got a very good recruiting class this year, and they have some key pieces returning. I like Seton Hall a lot this year. Texas Tech is still good. Hey, it's Penny Hardaway at Memphis. And I feel like they could be a very big dark horse candidate. Oregon's pretty good at 15. They made the Sweet 16 last year. Baylor, they beat Syracuse and then lost to Gonzaga. They have some people returning. Utah State might be my biggest sleeper this year. They looked really good. They won the Mountain West. I think that's their conference. Won the Mountain West last year. They're going to be a dark horse team. They have a lot of people returning. Ohio State, I'm not really sure what's going on up with them. Xavier and St. Mary's, two basketball schools that I like this year. Then your final few teams are Arizona, LSU, Purdue, Auburn, and VCU out of the Atlantic 10. I like a lot this year. A lot of small basketball schools you guys can look out for. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below anything you want. I don't have a specific thing. And yeah, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.